Welcome everybody to tonight's webinar of Property Portfolio Solutions. Shaun, Davison and I are going to talk to you tonight about the 3 easy steps to financial freedom using property. Now, some people like us to use the words wealth rather than financial freedom, but we all know where we're trying to get. And tonight, what we're going to try and do is run you through what we see is the easiest way to get to where you want to be if financial freedom means some sort of nirvana in the future. So, of course, we have to throw the disclaimer out here. We're not financial planners. We're not anything like that. We are people who deal in property, but we know the way based on our 60 plus years of experience. That makes us sound old, doesn't it, Shaun?
Well, you, but
but anyway, so quick question. How do you start a long journey? And property, getting to a wealthy situation using property is a long journey. So how do you start a long journey? Well, you do it by simply taking that first step. And property seems so hard. Yeah, you've got all the media. If we could just turn off our bloody TVs and all this media about booms and busts and interest rates going to go up and all this sort of stuff, and then the tax man's going to take pieces of it. Has property become all too hard? And we look at what we do, and there's an interesting concept when it comes to whether you're an experienced investor or a first-time investor. There is so much white noise, isn't there, Shaun, when it comes to the people outside trying to influence you into where you want to go with your property investment.
absolutely. There's so many people talking, spruiking, carrying on about things like location, but they're all people who want you to see property as a one-dimensional thing, or even a two-dimensional thing if you're lucky. But what we need to look at property is, how does property work for you? How does property go from where you are to where you want to be? But we'll be talking about that in a moment.
Exactly right. So again, the white noise, there's lots and lots of white noise out there. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and simple it right down. So when it's all said and done, all you got to do is take the steps. And we think there are only 3 really easy steps to take when it comes to property investment. So our goal today, to show you that the property investment is easy when you break it down to these 3 easy steps, that even though you might see our plan as simplistic, we know it works. 60 years of experience. There's a lot to be said for that.
Most of that's Jeff's.
Oh, don't give me that hard time. Yes, I've been in accounting of property and taxation of property and property transactions for more than 45, but he's got 20 years as well. So even though he looks the spring chicken that he is, cabinet maker from 16?
Probably 18, yeah.
18. In the business, property development, doing all that sort of stuff. So the yin and the yang of what we bring to the table is 65 years plus of experience. So who's this webinar for? This webinar is for those people who've decided that property is the way forward as their investment strategy, but they may very well be fearful of the next step. So for us, we'll give you away our special gift. We've developed this thing called a property investment blueprint, which make it to the end and we'll grab your email addresses and we'll send them, the lovely Pearl will send them off to you, and we'll go from there. So here we go with the journey. So for us, we said there's 3 easy steps, and Shaun's going to run you through this, aren't you, Shaun?
Yes, I am.
So away you go, mate.
This is where I take over, like the 3 easy steps, and it brings it down to a base level. What I love to do, and this is a big part of who I am as a person, I love to work out what it is that makes people tick. I love people and personality. So knowing your why. If you were to know your why you go into property, why you want to invest, what the end goal is, once you know that, you have a goal to work towards. So, and let us do the work for you. So what that is after we do the why, we work out where you're at the moment. The bit in the middle, this is where a lot of people struggle, because people work out their why, they have a conversation around, I want this, I want that, and then they even put a figure to it. And what stops them from creating their dream is in the middle of all that. They work out, how do I do that? that's up to us. Let us do the how. That's what we do. Yeah. And we work you through the whole process of that. And then you enjoy the results. At the end of the day, we work from one process to the next process, one property, next property, next property, until we achieve your why, which underneath the why, there is a goal, which is a figure, which is a spreadsheetable thing. Oh, here we go. Now this, it caught up. No, you're why. The important elements of shaping your, yeah, okay, next.
It's funny that we talk about, oh, he starts laughing. Yes, it's we start talking about the people's why. We start talking about where they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, that's the hardest part, because until we get inside your brain and understand what you want to do, it's very hard to then shape the plan. And the plan is not just any old property, is it, Shaun?
Like Jeff said, the why is pretty challenging. And I'm passionate about this. This is not about, I'm passionate about property and I'm passionate about getting people what they want, but the why is a mindset thing. And you'd be surprised how many times I've had conversations with people, and people aren't free to, people don't feel, sorry, a lot of people don't feel free to think, or be free to feel, to think and describe exactly what they want in life. Because we're told all the time it's all about, fast cars, mansions, and this, that, and the other. But deep down, we all have a different version of what comfort is. Comfort is like that couch that you feel really nice in, that you want to live with the rest of your life. And that's the same as a why. It's a picture of the future that you want, where you'd be comfortable. I've lived in the big house near the beach, and I like space around me with chickens and a ride-on mower. So what I'm saying is the version that society tells you is success sometimes isn't the individual's version of success, and that can actually be a conversation that needs to happen to bring that out in people. And I love that conversation. That's one of my favorite parts of what we do.
Exactly right. And here we go. He's going to have another dig at me about my age. But if truth be known, we talk about the why. I'm doing this webinar from Broome, far north Western Australia, on an adventure of our why in a caravan with my wife, just wandering around. Yes, the tyranny of distance no longer exists because of the internet and what have you, until you get out here and you try and get onto the internet, which is an interesting concept in itself. But allowing yourself to get caught inside what you're trying to think is one of the most difficult things we find to get people away from. Because if you can't dream, we can't turn the dream into a number and then formulate a plan to get to the number, can we, Shaun?
Well, the idea of let us do it is the how. The how is the part where people get stuck, and this is what stops them from dreaming. Because what happens innately, what we've been taught as we grow up, is there's no reason dreaming something unless you know how to get there. The how is up to us. We know, it sounds a bit funny, but we kind of know what we're doing. I've been in property all my life and I love it. It's not a thing that I do for a hobby, and I'm not a good salesperson. I just know how to make money in property. It's really simple for me. It's like 1 + 1 = 2 for me to make money in property. And I love taking people on that journey. My highest values are connection and contribution. So in this journey, I get to connect with people on their why, and I get to contribute with them and to them on their how. And with Jeff's help about the money management, the structuring and all that sort of stuff, it becomes a really easy process for us. But that's the part that we are really good at. You should leave to us to take care of. You're a part of the journey. We don't take it away from you, but it's just the hard part, the knowing what property's next, what that property will do. That's the thing that a lot of people miss. They go, oh, this property is a good property because it does this, but long-term, short-term, how it fits, the minutiae of how that fits within your portfolio can be a whole different story from one person to the next.
Yes, we talk about equity growth and we talk about income growth, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we work out positional awareness, and every time before we go to a next property, well, we've got clients that we've had multiple properties, but when we have from your first property to the very last property, it's always positional awareness. So we work out whether you need equity, income, and then we fill in the gaps. So you've got balance. Balance is really important in a property portfolio, so that the worst case scenario is lifestyle changes. You might have a kid, you might lose a job, whatever it is happens in your world. You don't want your portfolio to be a burden. You want your portfolio to be the future proof. That's where your future is. That's where your that's where your life is in the future for your investment for later on. That's retirement, and you don't want to have to sacrifice that just because life changes halfway through.
And one of the things Shaun's talking about is future proofing. We do that through structuring, having a look at what we're aiming to do, and a lot of the time making sure that these property deals are all cash flow positive. And that makes a huge difference if something goes wrong, like we've got COVID running around, we've got all these sorts of things, those pressures, you don't have to worry about what's happening in your property portfolio, because that's ticking along nicely for you. That's part of making sure that the plan is in place and is doing the right things for you. So once we've got all that done, once we've got your why satisfied, and we've got, it's 5, 10, 15, 20 years in the future, being able to say, well, here you go. Yes, you will have all been a part of it. Don't think that we're going to do this for you for 25 years and then just hand you a bucket full of money. One of our big things is transparency and making sure that we help people along the way. So yes, there'll be the finance applications, you'll be involved in that. Yes, there will be the properties that we will bring to the table, you'll be involved in the selection of that. But before you select, there will be the discussions about where this fits in your plan and why we believe this is the next one that you should be doing. And then when it comes time to sell the odd property here and there, we'll be all part of that as well. So that when you get to where you want to be, you either have a nest egg or a nest egg. One nest egg being a lot of cash that you can then throw into that house that you really want to be, or whatever, or the other nest egg, which is a group of properties that is creating you the income that you want to have in your retirement. That's the sort of thing you talk about, isn't it, Shaun?
Well, that's the whole process, isn't it? It's a balance. It's a balance between where you are right now to where you want to be. But we can't really know the next move until we're focused on the destination. It's the same as when Jeff's on his way around Australia, living the dream. He's outside the capital cities, not being locked down and all the carry on. So he gets to go, oh, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm here in whatever place it is. Let's say he's in Darwin and he wants to go to, where are you going to next?
We're in Broome. We're going to go to Port Edland.
Well, unless he knows he's in Broome and he knows where he's going, he doesn't know which direction to go. So as simplistic as that sounds, it's as complex as you want it to be. So we take care of that complexity, but it's knowing where you need to be, and we just fill in the gaps. And we need a destination, and we need where you're at to fill in the bits. And you don't really want people who don't know how to get you there. It's the same as trying to get, the Leyland brothers. You want the Leyland brothers to get you from one side of Australia to the other. You don't want the new imports.
Yep. So the 3 steps are, absolutely, you need to know your why. And that, like we keep saying, that's the most important part of it. Then once we have the why, we can do what you need to do to get to where you want to go so that you can enjoy the result. It's as simple as that. It might sound horribly simplistic, but it really is as simple as that. So all we ask are you willing to take 3 steps towards your financial freedom? Would you like the help that we're able to give you? The answer, well, I'm not going to put things in your mouth. Then for each property, the plan will be to understand where you are in your journey as you are at the moment. We get the finance sorted out if you need it, and we just keep building your retirement equity and income. It's about working out from the why what number you are going to need to make that why happen. And then it's a matter of accumulating the assets accordingly, isn't it, Shaun?
Most certainly is, mate.
So, and then there's a bonus step, of course. You just keep doing it again and again until your dreams are realized. Now, you don't stop there. You don't have to stop there. You can stop there if you want to. That's all part of what you are into. But you know, these things can become self-perpetuating, can't they, Shaun?
Well, I just thought of an example. I've got clients who you know in different times you can achieve goals really early. So you have that freedom. This is the part about what this is. This is the bit that a lot of people don't take into account is the freedom. It doesn't mean you have to retire. It doesn't mean you have to do this and the other, but it gives you the freedom to do what you want. So once you've achieved the figures that can realize your why, you've got the freedom to do what you want. You can keep working, you're not working, you can start a business, you can do this, that, and the other. But you've got freedom of time. And
or you can go and play with the grandkids.
Oh, play the grandkids if you're in that age group, if you've got a grandkids. Or it could be if you get it early enough, you get to go on a world holiday and then you come back, create a business, you do something different. Some people don't like what they're doing in their world. They don't like their lot in life in the way of a job. So if they don't like their job, they get to just discover something else because they got the freedom that if it's a low paying job they enjoy, they can do because their lifestyle's taken care of.
Exactly right. Like the only real issue is time, because to do this sort of thing takes time, doesn't it? And if you're going to shorten the amount of time, then the risk factors change, don't they? So if we've got a period of time that is, say, 20 years, it's going to be a lot easier to put a plan together than it is if we need to do it in 5. But everything's possible, isn't it?
We've had challenging clients that we've achieved a success with, and the only time to start's now. It doesn't matter, like 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old. When you get to 60 and you want to retire at 70 with a decent income and you've done nothing, that's challenging. Can do it and have done it, but prefer the ones that are more exciting. You can do the easier ones. The ones later on, I feel, well, Jeff and I feel the pressure and the responsibility of making sure everyone's okay.
Yep. So your only real options are to do nothing or start investing. You can sit there and try and rely on a government pension or your superannuation or whatever you think you might have, or you can take control and set yourself up for life. The answer's up to you. So we're done. I'm going to ask questions now, and I'm going to stop sharing and open it up so I can see everybody's pretty face. And Wayne, you're there. Let's. What are you up to these days, sir? So what are you up to, Wayne?
Hi. Well, I'm in lockdown like everyone else in Sydney, and I'm just stuck. Can't go 5Ks at the moment. You can't go more than 5Ks away from your home, and it's pretty bad at the moment. It's pretty bad.
What part of Sydney,
I've got a job. Am I only one speaking to you guys?
No. What part of Sydney you're in?
I live at Cronulla, down south.
Okay, I'm in Chatswood.
All right. Okay. Yeah. How is it up there? Is it
just as bad? I bet.
Can you move a 5Ks? Can you go 5Ks?
Yeah, it's 5Ks, mate, but I don't have a really nice beach.
Yeah, no, it's good. I bet it's good.
But even in these challenging times, the builders are still out there building. I've got a couple of builder friends of mine. They're considered essential workers. They have to have a COVID test every 3 days, but they are on the job. So just because we're locked down doesn't mean we can't be into the plan.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But I've got work and I've got an idea of what I want to do. Yeah, I've got a few properties already.
Yep.
But I just thought, you know this?
Yes, I know this. We've spoken before.
We've spoken before.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few properties, and I'm the same age as you, I believe. You're my, but I don't want to. I want to keep working.
There's no way you're as
Yeah,
old as Jeff.
yeah, we're the same age.
No fucking way. Jeff looks like he's 100 compared to you.
Oh, settle. I might have to just. You'll keep, sunshine. It's the end of the month shortly. You'll keep.
I'll tell you this. Look, you record this and I record this, but I know for a fact there's something. Jeff and I are not slick. We're not smooth. We don't know what we're doing in marketing and all that sort of crap. But when it comes to this stuff, the weird thing is we're really good at it.
Even though he said, even if he has to say it himself.
No, we are. Like
Yes,
I know I'm good at property because I've got the track record. I know it. I've got clients that have made lots of money in property. I've got clients that started at duplexes, have gone to major developments. We're really good at it. Jeff is amazing.
Wayne's first question would be, have you done it yourself? And Wayne, I'm here to tell you he has.
Oh, absolutely. Is that your question, Wayne?
Yeah, right. Yes, that's my question.
No, it's Wayne, is that your question? Ask a question. Be free. It's your question.
But right, what have you done? What have you done to make money?
Well, I started when as Jeff was sort of alluded to, started as a cabinet maker. I've loved property all my life. If property, for some reason, if our population stops growing, I'm screwed. I've got no job. I'm screwed.
He's going to slit his wrists.
I started as a cabinet maker. I love property, and I bought property, renovated property, did the same journey as a lot of people in property. Renovated, sold, invested, and then jumped into the next version and went development. Started with a 6-lot subdivision, then bought the property next door, did another 6-lot subdivision, went to an 18-lot subdivision, went to a 25-lot subdivision, and then just kept growing from there. I've had businesses where I've been a builder. I've had businesses where I've been I am a developer. Still am. I've got clients I do developments with. I've had clients where I've started from duplexes and taken them to 28-lot subdivisions. So what I do, I love, and my reason for doing it is simple. I got my highest 2 values are connection. So I love people. I love being with people. I love talking to people. Love communicating, connecting with people, and contribution. So I love helping people. So while I'm doing that in my life, I'm happy. And for me, my wealth, my money version is, I think wealth comes about 4th for me, but it's pretty cool. I know what I'm doing because I get to contribute to people through my highest values, and I'm happy.
And Wayne, I get to see this day by day. There's some of the things that COVID's done to us. Well, not just COVID, the Banking Royal Commission having slowed down developers, and we're scrambling around trying to find things, and Shaun's tearing what hair there was on his head out.
I had a beautiful head of hair.
Trying to find property for people, and you find a block and you think, well, should we be doing this one, not the clients? He'll put the clients first, which has been good. And I've seen the last couple of deals we've done for clients, they've made upwards of $200,000 per deal. Things that we could have done ourselves, no problem. Like I'm not financially insecure myself. I've got money I can throw at things if I need to, but we're both the same. In an accounting sense, I tend not to say no to anybody when it comes to the accounting side of things. My wife hates it because I'm supposedly retired, but I've got now I can give that structural advice, that helpful part when it comes to making sure that people, when it comes to risk, quarantine the risk so that there isn't a problem where we start early, rather than someone like you, Wayne, who's already got a few properties, to make sure that if something does go wrong, there is no downside. We do it on a day-to-day basis by making sure that the cash flow positive properties that we deal with, and only people we say no to at the moment are the developers trying to sell us crap property. We just won't put people into them.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So Wayne, what sort of properties you got, mate?
I've got a few in Queensland. I've got a few down the south coast. Ulladulla around there.
Nice. But they houses or jewels?
I've got a jeweler down here on Kings Point. At Kings Point, it's Burra Lake, and I've got a vacant block next door. So I'm thinking about doing the same thing. Put another jeweler on there, and I've got two houses, two old houses. One in the main street, and one at Mollymook. It's a lot of weekend I've got down there.
Okay.
You wouldn't have thought
on a big block. They're both big blocks.
Yeah, you would have thought Mollymook would be an absolute.
Sorry?
You would have thought Mollymook should be an absolute killer. It's a lovely spot, isn't it?
Well, yeah, no, it's a great spot. It's good. Yeah,
you know what I like to do?
I've had them for years. I've kept them. I've just kept them.
Good work.
I bought them.
Property's a long game, mate. We play. The thing that we can do is, because we don't just do the buy and hold, we can play a short game, long game. We can manipulate things because we don't just rely on markets to move. Because I do duplexes, I do all sorts of stuff to manipulate things. I'm a developer, right? You want today's value to work for you. Then when it goes up in value, it works even better. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's how I work. So I've got plenty of clients where Jeff's seen it. He's got old mates of his that he's been accounting clients where we've sat down and they've gone, oh, I've got a portfolio of this, and I look at their portfolio and go, what? This is awesome. We accumulated this over years, and they go, yeah. And then I look within it and said, do you mind if I look into it? And they go, yeah, go for it. Then I work through and I find, oh shit, you got these two old, cottages next door to each other. We could amalgamate and create all this development, and we could do this, that, and the other. And before they know it, they're really cool, by the way, really cool accumulated property portfolio turns into this machine. And
all of a sudden they're $1 million richer.
It's not just this thing that they've got currently, it's what it can be in the future. Yes. So what you've got, and it sounds like, especially with an empty block of land, when I hear that, Wayne, it's the same as money in the bank. It makes you cry. An empty block of land is not giving you anything besides a rates notice.
Yeah. I had a few blocks. I bought vacant blocks of land years ago, which I kept, but I've developed individually, slowly. Each one developed them slowly over a period of time. So I had three vacant blocks in Queensland, which I've built houses on up there.
Whereabouts in Queensland?
I've got one on Lamb Island out in Moreton Bay.
Where?
And Lamb Island. Well, next to Macleay Island. You know where Russell Island, the islands?
No.
Near Redland Bay.
Oh,
and
okay.
Another one up at Harvey Bay. I built a house up there.
Harvey's going all right, mate.
Harvey Bay's all right. It's up Cragnish.
It's got a good cash flow.
Yeah, no, it's going well. Harvey Bay. But I bought everything way back in the late 80s, early 90s, and I've just kept them. And I think Jeff told me I've got a couple of places here in Sydney, in Cronulla, and he told me years ago when I actually met him in his office over in the north side somewhere. He told me that if I was to sell anything, it'd be this house that I'm in now, and a unit I got down in Cronulla on the beach. He told me that years ago. So I probably will do that, but I don't know when. Yeah, it
depends. Yes, it's all about the inclination and being able, whether you're able to sell it at a particular time. And the market's really buoyant at the moment. It's being able to find the end of it, isn't it? Rather than watch someone else make a shitload out of it. But if it's opportunity cost of being able to sell something to be able to put the money into the development of the other ones and make more money there, it's a pretty easy calculation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Wayne,
You told me to put my money into super, and I've already got a fair whack of super already.
You know
So
why I said that?
You know.
You know why I said that?
Sorry.
You know why I said that?
Why?
Because the income coming back
Why?
out is tax-free. So if you've set yourself up,
Yeah, I know.
and here I am putting on my tax hat for a moment, as opposed to having my my development hat on. If you've got an income that's coming out that's tax-free, and your other income's no more than $20,000, then you don't pay any tax to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Manipulating things around like that is something that we can look at, that we often look at for clients as well. Yes. Putting your money into superannuation has its pitfalls, but we're old enough now to enjoy it, aren't we, Wayne?
Yeah. I can retire and go around Australia like you, become a grey nomad. But I won't.
No, silver schoolie, mate. I'm not quite the grey nomad yet.
He's a grey. Hey, Wayne, let us, mate. If you feel like we've really mucked up this webinar hard enough, give me a yell, and let me have a crack at what you got. See what I can do.
All right, okay.
What are you going to do?
Okay, yeah.
I don't charge you for that.
No obligation. No.
I don't charge you for it, mate. What I do is I'll have a crack at it, and if I can create value.
I'll tell you now. Something's interested me lately. I've got a big block of land, an old house and a big block of land down in Ulladulla.
Oh.
It's on the water, across from the harbour.
Oh.
And there's a new development about to start. You might even it's a big development. Local guys are going to build 22 units, and a penthouse right next to that block. And it's all happening now. It's all going to happen very soon. It got approved. I saw them. I was at the meeting. I was zoomed in on the council meeting, and it all got approved for the council chambers. It's Shoalhaven Council, and it's all happening very soon. 22 units and a penthouse next door to the one I've got on the harbour. So I think if things are going to really go off, it'll be that one. You know, it's a big block, but I believe it's not wide enough to develop. It's only kind of narrow. It's just 2,000 square meters, and it's quite long but narrow. But I was told that I need to there's another one next door that I'd have to go in with to develop that block, you know.
Wayne,
and so I don't know. Yeah,
I've got a really creative mind. I'm happy. Like even the other stuff you got vacant blocks, places, we can deal with that easily. That's just like shelling peas. That what you just spoke about.
Yeah.
That's the sort of stuff. Sink my teeth into something like that.
Come up with ideas.
Sorry?
Yeah, that's what he does.
I love to sink my teeth into that, mate. I got people who the biggest value like for people like you who already have an understanding of property investment. The biggest value I add, and this is something you won't get elsewhere, or you won't get for yourself for many years, is my connections.
All right. Okay.
Because I've got everywhere I go, I've got builders who do things for wholesale rates. I've got people who do me favors for my clients because they know that it ends up in a job. You know what I mean?
And there's a shit hot town planner around too that we've got that we know very well.
I kind of know a couple of them. I don't profess to know everything about everything. I don't at all. But what I do know is I know a lot of people who are in the know. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you want to play, Wayne, I'm here to help. If you don't, that's
all
cool.
Right. Okay. Well, it's only just got to approve that development down there. So I think they've got 5 years to kick it off. But I spoke to the local local guy down there that they work with, and he said that the builder who owns it will probably get stuck straight into it. You know?
Has to. This madness that's happening right now, Wayne. Yeah. I've been through a lot of these. Like I've been in property a long time, and I've seen a lot of this. So what you've been in property a long time, probably as you're saying, but it's It goes up, right, in normal rates, and every now and then you get this silly spike, and then it goes flat for a while, and then you get this silly spike.
Yeah.
I don't know how far along we are to this next spike, but sometimes it's a risk to wait till the next flat point when you've got a going concern. Now, you might want to keep half of, or whatever, quarter of, or 3/4 of whatever gets developed on the site, but it's not a matter of how much that means today, it's what that means in the future, right? The next spike, the next spike, the next spike. Yeah. You know that. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. Well,
You've been around
down
long
there, it's taken a long time. For years, it went backwards, and it has kicked off in the last, like 18, 24 months with all this, COVID, really.
Ulladulla had a spike. Ulladulla had a spike probably 4 years ago, and then it went flat again. And I know this because I had some clients who had property in the area, and it went really well for a little while, and then we had a real flat period. And that was through the banking commission that Jeff brought up. So people couldn't invest where they wanted to invest because people couldn't really live there before. The world's a different place now. The whole world is a different place now. And this is what people don't understand. The traditional versions of property have all changed. The whole landscape's changed just simply because people can work from what Jeff and I are doing tonight. This whole environment has changed the world. People don't have to work from home and work in an office anymore, sorry. They can work from home, they can work from anywhere. So in that, people become less likely to be drawn towards the majors. And Ulladulla, Port Macquarie's going mental, has done for years. Central Coast, everything up the eastern seaboard near water is just going absolutely ballistic.
Yeah.
How long that's going to last, I don't know. I know we've got a massive boom as a result of 250,000 expat Australians coming home because they're scared of the COVID thing overseas. Currently, we're not letting a lot of people in from overseas. So my tip is this property boom is going to last probably another, I think it's been going for probably 8-9 months. So I always thought it'd go for 4 or 5 years. So it's somewhere between 3 to 4 years. So if you've got something that's time sensitive in the way of a market hype, my opinion is jump on it now or time it for the next one. Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah.
Because an Ulladulla is not like middle of Sydney. You know what I mean? It has a definite spike flat thing that happens, yeah?
Yeah.
Sydney sort of travels like the majors where they go, I hate this fucking term, by the way. Location. Yeah. I hate those. Yeah. But because they're unrealistic. They're lying. But what they do is these positions they're talking about, they're just steady growth. But the long-term line between like an Ulladulla and all the rest of it, they do the same thing as a mean line, but they just go spike and then they go flat for a while, but the line's the same. Does that make sense? The mean line, the average line.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would really love to have a graph here, but I don't have it. I'm using my fingers.
Really badly too, I might add.
Yeah, it's probably very pixelated. But does that make sense, Wayne?
That makes sense, yeah, it does.
But if you want me to have a look at what I can do with what I can do, I've got people that come to me with, man, I've had clients who go, I don't know what I can do. I've got this thing, I want to grow my wealth, but like I'm eating away at my equity because, it's unbalanced. And I go, okay, let me have a look at it. And I see they've got a property that can turn into so much positive cash flow. They don't have to buy anything new. They just have to refinance what they've got, build different things on what they've got, develop it. And then all of a sudden they go, wow, this has just changed my world. My whole portfolio has shifted into a positive from a negative. And they've not bought new property, they've just developed what they've got. And that's, I don't need you to buy new shit. I just want you to be getting you from where you are to where you want to be. That's all I need. That's all I need for my life to be happy.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, I'll contact you if you like.
No, it's up to you. I'm here for you, mate. I'm not here for me. I'm here for you. If you want, I'm more than happy to help anybody, man. If you've got anyone, you got your stuff. The reason why I'm really focusing is because the stuff you mentioned is interesting to me. You know what I mean? It's just interesting. It's not the boring. It's not the boring cup of tea.
Made the effort to be here too.
Houses in fucking, somewhere.
Well, am I the only one listening?
Well,
today you are, but we have a manic group that like our recordings as we're going along. So yes, you're the one here. You get to pick his brains. But
if you've got any questions, Wayne, go for it.
Oh no, that's all right. No, it's okay. All right, okay. I don't know.
Have a think about it, man. It's not a problem.
We don't particularly want to put you on the spot now. You can open a discussion with us at Shaun at propertyportfoliosolutions.com.au, or you can give us a buzz.
All right.
Have you got a pen, Wayne?
Yes. Yeah. Get that? Hang on. I'm very relaxed. I've got the football on.
Oh, who's playing?
Who's playing tonight?
Shit, it's Thursday. What are we doing, Jeff?
What are you on? They're actually playing. They're not playing in New South Wales, though.
The Tide's in the Storm, but I haven't got the volume on. I'm listening to you guys.
Well, you don't need to.
Sorry, yeah, of course you are. I'd be really focused on us too. Who's playing the Storm?
Titans.
So the Titans.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Titans are in it for 10 minutes.
Number 0407
0407
120
120
441.
441.
Name Shaun.
Shaun, okay.
I don't even care how you spell it when you talk to me, by the way.
All right.
So if you want to have a chat about what you got, I might come up with a theory that you don't like, and that's okay. It doesn't cost you anything. But if I come up with a theory you like, let's run with it.
All right, okay. I remember when I spoke to Jeff, he gave me some good advice. I sat down in his office. I forget where it was, right up from the northern
around the corner from where Shaun lives, probably.
Chatswood.
All right.
Oh no, you would have been at Belrose. Sorry, yes.
No, yeah, that's right. It was further up. I went right up. Stuart, I met you at Stuart Ziddell's, one of Stuart Ziddell's.
Yes.
Yeah. And he told me to come and see you, and I did. Yeah. And he used to run a gym here in Cronulla, where I live, years ago. I used to go to his gym. Anyway, I remember you gave me some really good advice with what I had. You drew a little map, and I told you all my properties, and you told me what to do with my properties, and that stuck with me.
Good.
And, but yeah, I've got even more super now. So I probably won't be putting money into super, but I remember you gave me some good advice. It was good.
It's all about the plan, mate. It's all about the plan. The plan's always flexible.
Hey, Wayne, as long as it ends up where you want it to be, mate.
Sorry?
As long as all what you have and what you add to it, you end up where you want to be.
Yeah.
That's all Jeff and I want, mate.
Yeah.
Even if, like, we've got clients where we talk to and they go, oh, I want to get from here to here, and it seems so far away. And we talk about what they've got and where they want to be, and it isn't that far often. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes
it's just a tweak.
They want to be.
Sometimes it's a tweak, mate. And that's what we're here for. All I want is for you to go, something, Shaun, Jeff, thank fuck I met you. This stuff works. That's all I want.
All right. Okay. All right.
If it's one deal, 20 deals, don't care. That's it.
All right. Okay.
All right. I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Wayne, you've got Shaun's phone number now, so you can open up a conversation there. Thanks for joining us tonight, Wayne.
That's all right.
Your questions have been good for anyone else who listens into this podcast later on, to see that we have options. We have our experience. Yes, mine's way more than his is, as he's been telling everybody. But the experience is something that you can't. It's not earned. It's something. Sorry, it is earned over a long time. 65 years we've been at this between us. We don't know everything. We don't profess to know everything, but we know an awful lot. So if
And just remember, everyone, I'm 25 years of those 65. Just saying.
and with that, good night, everybody.